Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio on W4HC Radio, where you can learn to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit to reclaim the true potential that exists within you through cutting-edge wellness, tools, and modalities. Here's your host, Sarah Banta.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio on W4HC and W4CS. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, busy mom of 3 teenagers. For those of you joining us for the first time today, I graduated from Stanford University as well as the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and the Invincible Wellness System, which literally tells you how or teaches you how to become your own doctor. As I was on my own journey for my own health after hitting rock bottom with hormonal issues, thyroid issues, literally no digestion, and having Crohn's disease, I was introduced to a holistic modalities, supplements, nutrition, and cutting-edge technologies that heal the body, partially through my journey. My 9-year-old son at the time was diagnosed with leukemia. I had been introduced to a supplement now known as Accelerated Silver, which you can find on my website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com, that I started giving him in addition to clearing up his diet. And within a year, not only were the cancer cells gone, but the anemia and other nutritional deficiencies he had disappeared as well. He's now 17 years old, never missed a day of school from the cold or flu in the last 8 years, and he's a national record holder for crew among staying out of the doctor's office. He's been my inspiration to stay on top of cutting-edge modalities and supplements that go after curing the incurable and helping my clients live their most optimal life in body, mind, and spirit. I truly believe that your body does want to and is capable of rebuilding and healing itself, regardless of what chronic diseases you may have. I'm here for you to answer your questions and bring you innovative and cutting-edge technologies and health solutions to empower you and your ability to reach your optimal state of health. So now to introduce my guest, which I'm so excited about because this is a world that I've been so a little hesitant to dive into, but I'm really excited to get the nuts and bolts down and ask all the good questions. Andy Rodosevich is the CEO and co-founder of Hemp Depot, a native of Colorado Springs. Hemp Depot and co-founder Andy had 2 passions as a boy, cars and creating ways to make money. Today, with his high school friend Luke Pickering, he runs Hemp Depot, one of the nation's largest hemp farms, specializing in seed genetics, planting, harvesting, wholesaling, and retailing cannabis for CBD, with emphasis on the safety and the purity, which is super important to me. Hemp Depot was one of the first 13 producers to be certified by the U.S. Hemp Authority, an organization formed in 2018 to self-regulate the industry with standards to ensure the quality and safety of CBD products. Looking out over the hundreds of acres of Hemp Depot's cannabis farms, it's hard to imagine Andy experiences an allergic reaction to marijuana-producing cannabis, which looks similar but is genetically different to CBD-producing hemp. It's this sensitivity that makes him place such a strong emphasis on frequent testing and quality control. A sought-after source on cannabis and CBD, Andy has been interviewed on national media such as CNBC and invited to speak at industry conferences. Hemp Connoisseur named him a top 100 people you should get to know under his leadership. The Denver Business Journal named Hemp Depot one of the largest Denver area cannabis companies, and he's a member of he's a member of the Hemp Industries Association and the National Hemp Association. Welcome, Andy. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. I appreciate you having us on the show today.
Oh, I'm so excited. As I've said, I mean, I go into all the natural markets and there's CBD right there by the pack of gums, you know, as your checkout, and it's everywhere. And it makes me really nervous about picking up any product because it seems like everyone's producing it and making it and you just don't know what is in the products. So I would love to talk, first of all, why don't we start off with what got you to this business and what drove you to take, the alternative path in the world of CBD?
Sure. We've been in cannabis for a decade now. So we actually started one of the first medical marijuana dispensaries in Colorado back in 2009. Ran a successful consulting company in the industry. We did a .com startup in the cannabis space that we took public in 2016. And just looking at where the industry was going, when I started seeing CBD and industrial hemp in 2014, we realized that this was a global opportunity. And so with cannabis, we were limited to the state that we were operating in. And it seemed like that was going to be the next frontier of cannabis. And so in 2015, we started with a 120-acre farm. We founded Hemp Depot and got going with it. It's been a pretty crazy last 4 years. We're actually a completely self-funded company. So we're one of the few in the industry that's a zero debt, zero investor company. And at this point, we're one of the largest in the U.S., 1,300 acres, 26,000 square foot manufacturing facility. We can produce almost 5 million retail products every month. So wow, it's a bit of the journey.
Can you explain the difference between CBD and marijuana for the layman? Take us to
Sure.
101.
So the starting point is realizing that it all comes from a cannabis plant. And the percentage of CBD is the differentiator if it's going to be considered marijuana cannabis or industrial hemp. And so if the THC level is over 0.3%, it's considered marijuana. If it's under 0.3%, it's considered industrial hemp. And so when you start looking at industrial hemp, the cannabis plant is just incredible at creating things. So there's industrial hemp that's designed to create fiber, and the amount of fiber that it can create per acre trumps any other crop that you could grow. There's industrial hemp that does seed, and it can create millions of pounds of seed, or you can have it create cannabinoids. And so that's what we specialize in, is a type 3 industrial hemp that produces high levels of CBD. And so the industrial hemp that we grow typically produces about 10% CBD. So 10% of the total weight of the plant is a CBD molecule. And then we extract that out of the plant and then infuse it into all of our retail products.
Okay, and so what do you see the difference of, because I see some of the products have 0 THC versus the 0.3. Do people see a difference?
Sure. There's definitely an entourage effect with a full spectrum product. With full spectrum CBD, you don't just have CBD, you also have CBV, CBN, CBG, dozens of other cannabinoids, dozens of terpene profiles, and all of those have an entourage effect and work together. One of the disadvantages, though, is that you do have a very light trace level of THC at 0.3%. And so if you're using one of our high potency, full spectrum products, and you're using a significant amount of it, there's a chance that you could test positive on a drug test. And so for some of our firefighters and police officers that want no risk of a test, we do have a line of products that are 100% THC free, and it's made with a CBD isolate. And so we literally isolate the CBD compound out of that extracted oil. So what we're infusing into our products is 99.9% pure CBD.
Okay, that makes sense. So are there any negative side effects to CBD?
I have never experienced one. I've never had any of our customers come to us with any sort of negative experience. I think it's one of those situations. It's like, what kind of negative experience do you get from a multivitamin? It's one of those things that get customers out, try it, implement it in your life, give it 30 days and see what the results are for yourself.
And is there any risk of addiction?
Absolutely not.
So 0 risk of addiction. And then my one question is if I'm someone that doesn't have stress or sleep issues or pain, is there any benefit to taking it that's anti-aging or preventative care that you get from CBD?
Well, I think that a way to look at it is kind of, again, back into taking vitamin C or a multivitamin. There's a million different reasons that you're going to want to take a multivitamin. Our bodies have cannabinoid receptors. We're made to have this compound in our bodies. As a manufacturer, it's really tough for us to speak about, any potential medical benefit from our products. But there's some really phenomenal third-party research of companies that don't manufacture, don't sell, and getting into that space and doing some independent research to see, what are some of the reasons that you would want to use the product, I think would be a great direction.
So when you say our bodies have the receptor sites for CBD, can those receptor sites be filled by any other product? So we are essentially meant to have this as a like a food or a nutrient. Like we talk about iodine
Absolutely.
being essentially very, very important to the body, and that the body has iodine receptor sites. So would it be the same sort of thing where your body is needing this CBD, or it's meant to have it?
That's exactly right. And you got to look too, even in other countries like Canada, they don't have a CBD program, but they have an industrial hemp program where hemp protein or hemp, crack kernels is this huge market in Canada. It has been for the last 100 years. And they have trace levels of cannabinoids in those products. And so it's really this, just weird deal here in the States where we've just completely eliminated hemp for a chunk of our history. And it's been something that's been in our diets and used as a supplement for hundreds of years.
And how, because like I was saying, when I walk into, we have a market called Mother's Market, and I'm checking out, and on the countertop, there's CBD oil, there's CBD supplements right there. It's like a pack of gum or a Snickers bar. And then I have seen reports on 60 Minutes about where this stuff is coming from, and it's coming from China, and it's being tested, and you just have no idea what you're getting when you actually are buying a product. So how do you decipher if you're getting a good quality product?
That's such a great point. It's a shame that, this industry has some of those issues in it right now. And so we've personally gone a completely different route. So we're vertically integrated to the point that we produce our own seeds, we create our own genetics, we grow our own hemp, we extract that oil, and we manufacture it. And when we manufacture our oil, it's in a facility that is GMP, kosher, Leaping Bunny certified for our topical products, Colorado Food Manufacturing License, and then we go over the top with traceability. So there's a scan code on our products or a batch number. You put that into our website, and it comes up and says, here's the batch of hemp, here's the batch of CBD oil, and here's the finished product testing. And so here's the actual third-party lab result showing the potency of CBD. So if we say there's 900 milligrams of CBD, here's the test that shows that. And then we also show our microbial testing, our heavy metal testing, our pesticide testing, and verifying that everything was produced in the U.S. from seed to shelf. So I think that what we're really trying to do, and we actually white label for 2,400 brands across the U.S. And so we're working with not only our brands, Cybidol, True Organics, and Pure Pet, but we're working with the 2,400 other brands that we manufacture for to adopt this QR code technology into their products. And so making it so that the customer experience when you're looking at a product is you immediately look on the back of the bottle for the QR code to go and scan it and see the information, see where everything is coming from. And if you don't see that info, question that product, do some more research. Maybe it's viable, maybe it's not, but at least second guess it. And so I think that that's kind of the future. And there's some states that are actually already requiring a system very close to this.
Very cool. Because I, like I said, have been very hesitant to try any CBD product because of the quality control. And when I came across your company, it blew me away. I have tried the lotion, which puts me to sleep in 10 minutes. It's amazing. And I will be, Tim was asking, number one, can we order this, or where can we order this? I will give your website out at the end, but also very soon, within a week or so, you will be able to get this on acceleratedhealthproducts.com. And Darla was asking, how long does it take to see effects? And I'm sure it depends on which product you're taking, but there's the lotion and then there's the dropper bottle or the oil.
So when you ingest CBD, it should be in your bloodstream within 45 minutes. When you put it on your skin, about the same period of time, it usually is out of your body within 8 to 12 hours. So that kind of gives you an idea of when you'll get it and when it goes. But it's also, again, a lot like a multivitamin where it takes some time to really build up and really see the full effect of it. You can't just go and take a multivitamin once and see, how you're going to feel the next day. It's after a month of it, and then, you run out 6 months later, and 2 weeks later, you're like, oh man, I don't quite feel the same as I did when I was on that multivitamin. And so I think that it's a very similar situation with CBD products.
I have to explain my situation was my neck was locking up from stress. I was rubbing the lotion on it, and after night 3, the lock was gone. So I didn't actually need it night 4. Is that because it just completely relaxed it, or it still was in the tissue?
Yeah, a lot of the things just build up, and so they're working on different pieces of your body. And so while it can be in your body within 45 minutes, it takes time to actually work through what it's actually going to do. And, some things too with like necks, for example, we have this great roll-on gel. It's like a icy hot muscle gel with a roll-on applicator that's going to be released here in the next few days. So that's going to be a really exciting product. And we have some muscle salves that are kind of like the texture of Tiger Balm. They're actually higher concentration of CBD than the lotion. So some really interesting topicals. We even have a 6-piece facial skincare line that we're rolling out. So.
And how does that benefit your skin?
It's again one of these things where we're kind of like dancing around being able to actually flat out make the medical claims on what it could potentially do. But there's a ton of, thinking through all of the research in CBD and applying that to the different pieces of how you would want to apply it to your body starts making a lot of sense. And trying to create this whole lifestyle around CBD where, you're taking it with a multivitamin, you're using it in your skincare line, you have like a salve or a roll-on gel for those nights that you're, wanting to put it on your lower back or a knee. And so we're just trying to create a lifestyle product line. And so kind of the same idea as when you walk into a Whole Foods and you see there's gummy bears and pills and tinctures. There's, skincare products, just basically filling out all of the product categories as one company so that if you're happy with our company, you can get the whole lifestyle, fulfilled by one manufacturer.
I guess let me word this in a different way. Do you have testimonials for CBD getting rid of wrinkles or age spots or anti-aging benefit?
Yeah, we have folks talking about like eczema a lot.
Okay.
A lot of the guys out on our farm will get when it's really cold in the winter, they get like kind of like a dry patch on their face, kind of like a windburn, and they're always slathering the salve on, and it's gone the next day. So there's some really interesting testimonial pieces from just kind of clearing up some skin ailments.
Okay. Does CBD actually block cortisol or mitigate the negative effects of the high stress induced levels of cortisol? Or have you looked into that?
I honestly haven't. I honestly haven't.
This is, I have to say I'm super impressed with your products, and I've had very well-renowned practitioners test them out who have also looked at other CBD companies, and they're very impressed. So I have to say I could not be more impressed, especially with the way your company is arranged and the quality control. Are there any any topics or any other things that you think we should discuss as far as the benefits and the importance of CBD?
Yeah, I mean, I think that CBD is really going to be seen as the new vitamin C, where you're going to see it in a drink tablet that you can take, or a pill, or a tincture, or a gummy. And I think that one thing that we also have to be concerned of is some of the gimmicky things that are coming online. I see things like a CBD candle or CBD nail polish. I actually was in Bed Bath & Beyond the other day and saw a CBD infused pillow at Bed Bath & Beyond. And so, I think that some of those things is like, as consumers, we need to take a step back. And, our goal as a company is to provide something that we can show that it's going to be absorbed into your body, that it's going to be a good carrier, that it's going to be tested well, it's going to be at a concentration that makes sense. For most adults, we see people wanting to consume between 30 to 60 milligrams of CBD for really a desired effect. And so when you're talking about a pillow that has CBD, that you're not absorbing 30 milligrams every night out of a pillow. You're not going to absorb CBD from burning a candle or putting it on your nails. And so I think, again, like you were saying, some of the issues where CBD companies are using Chinese-sourced hemp or Chinese-extracted hemp, or it's extracted in a facility that is not food grade, or made in a facility that is not food grade, as much of that is an issue, I think we have a lot of issues in products that are just trying to stay on the hype, trying to stay on the hype of CBD, and they're not valid products that are going to give a result. And so those are the things that I think that we need to look at as a consumer. Pick the right products, pick a product that is strong enough, pick a product that is from the right company so that you have a good experience with CBD, and that you're not walking away from it and saying, well, that didn't work for me, and you cut it out. And so I think that's the thing that's the biggest piece of the industry right now.
I agree. As far as dosage, that was something that you just touched on, and I want to clarify. On a bottle, it will either say 300 milligrams or 900 milligrams, but you're talking about dosage of 30 to 60 milligrams. So when it says 300 milligrams, is that for the whole bottle?
Correct. And so if you look on the back, especially of any of our consumable products, there is a supplement fact piece. And so it'll say how many milligrams per dose. So if you look at a 900 milligram tincture, there are 30 doses in that bottle. Each dose is 30 milligrams. If you do our soft gel pills, for example, each soft gel is 30 milligrams. And so the CBD on the front of the bottle for virtually every brand is total CBD in the bottle. And then you'll divide that by the amount of doses that you're going to use.
And can anybody overdose on it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's studies where there's people that are taking 5,000 milligrams per day for, totally outrageous reasons, but there's zero way that you can ever overdose on it.
And does anybody, if they're using it for sleep, for instance, will they feel groggy in the morning, or is there risk of not taking a sleep aid? Sometimes you have to worry about how you're going to wake up. I own a company right now that in the middle of the summer, with all of our farms running, we have 285 employees. And I mean, there's plenty of nights that I can't sleep. And so I've tried Unisom and all of the major sleep aids, and you wake up and the first 4 hours of your day is ruined. And when I take CBD myself, I've never woken up like that. And so, I think, again, it's one of those things I just really encourage people. This is not going to get you high. This is not marijuana. Buy a bottle, try it for yourself, see what your experience is with it, because we really just don't have, the negative testimonials and the negative reviews from our customers. And I think that's one of the most amazing pieces about CBD. Yeah, it's funny because I received the products and I kept it I kept looking at it for about a week without trying it because I was too afraid to try it and see how I was going to wake up the next morning because I've had a lot on my plate lately. But at the same time, I'm in a super stressful period of my life and I wasn't sleeping well. And so I tried it out on a weekend and I woke up feeling great. And I also woke up feeling great because I actually got some good quality sleep finally. So I can't say enough about it. One other question, is it safe for kids and for the elderly?
Definitely for the elderly. There are some incredible stories with kids using CBD for various reasons. That's one of those kind of subjects where we intend for our product to be 18 and above just because there hasn't been enough clinical studies and research with young kids. But I think it's at the parents' discretion with that.
Right. And do kids use it for anxiety and depression? Does it help? Does it actually help build up serotonin or the happy hormones in the body? Or is it just blocking a receptor site that causes depression? Or how would that work? And this is not just for kids, but for adults as well.
Yeah, again, kind of touching on these like medical points where unfortunately we're just really bound with the FDA. And so there's just some issues in our industry right now, which are an absolute shame, where some of the biggest companies in the industry have really outspoken and done the research for the consumers and said, here's the different, medical situations and here's the milligrams that we think work. And then they get closed. And so, we really dance that line very fine. And I think questions like that, I just really encourage you and the audience to get on Google. There's so many great companies out there, research companies, especially overseas, that have published articles that really break down those questions. Mm-hmm. I think that's the best direction to go.
And I totally understand and respect that. I have to be careful with all of my supplements and what I can say and any medical claims I have as well. So Tim did ask, do you have any products with the THC? And I know you said you have the product, some with 0.3?
Yeah, so we don't do like actual marijuana products. So like if you go to a dispensary, a typical product will have 10 milligrams of THC per dose, or it'll have like a 1-to-1. So it'll be like 10 milligrams of THC, 10 milligrams of CBD. And that would be a marijuana product that we wouldn't be able to ship. It would be a Colorado only product, and we would have to sell it in a medical dispensary or a recreational dispensary for that matter.
Gotcha.
But all of our products are classified as industrial hemp. So they do have that trace amount of THC in it. So you can look at it and you can see the testing. So like an 1,800 milligram tincture, 0.3% of the volume of that tincture is going to be THC. But it's definitely not like taking a THC product or a marijuana product. It's just a very trace amount of THC in there, which just also helps with the entourage effect of all of the cannabinoids working together.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, before I ask you my last question, tell people where they can find you.
HempDepotCo.com. That's our retail website. All 42 of our products are on there. We also have a little retail showcase at our manufacturing facility in Colorado Springs. So if anybody's in the Colorado area, we welcome you guys to come down and check out the facility and shop right at the retail store. There's also a find map where we list a big chunk of the people that actually carry our products. So feel free to get onto our website and try and find a location near you that sells it in a brick and mortar location as well.
Awesome. And like I said, within a week or so, you will be able to find it at acceleratedhealthproducts.com, which I'm so excited. And I've got clients just knocking at my door for it already. So I can't wait to get the testimonials out, as we know we can't make any medical claims, but testimonials speak thousands of words. So
Absolutely.
My last question, what top 3 things do you do on a daily basis or focus on to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit? And I'm sure one of those is taking CBD, but...
Yeah, my regimen every day is waking up. I have a great multivitamin pack that I put one of my CBD soft gels in as well. And then I go to the gym. I take 15 minutes in a steam room to kind of clear my mind and prep for my day. And then I get into the office and get after it. And so that's kind of my regimen every day to get ready for what's to come.
Awesome. Well, I so appreciate you being on today, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of people contacting your company and me and asking more questions, and I can't wait for us all to try your products. We are going to go to a short commercial break and be right back with how cortisol, the stress hormone, could be to blame for your weight gain and what to do about it.
Are you wanting to optimize your physical, mental, and emotional health? Visit www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Accelerated Health Products to detox, reset, and rebuild your immune system naturally, and to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit with cutting-edge supplements and solutions. Get Sarah Banta's personal advice on a protocol just right for you. That's www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com.
And we're back. It's Sarah Banta, and I want to go over what cortisol, the stress hormone, and what it is and why it could be to blame for your weight gain and what to do about it. And before I start, Marie had asked if I had an affiliate program, and I absolutely do. You can email me, Sarah, through the website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com, and we can discuss the affiliate program if that's something of interest to you. But let's talk cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It nullifies the 6 fat-burning hormones in your body. So essentially, you could be eating nothing or eating a low-carb, high-fat, ketogenic, perfect diet, exercise, do all of the right things, and still gain weight. It's not fair. Why? Because cortisol turns off all of that fat-burning hormones and actually raises your blood sugar and insulin without even eating sugar. That's why it's so important to address all of the issues in your life that are stressful. And I'm going through that right now, and it's very difficult, easier said than done, but it's important. If you end up gaining weight in the belly, it's a sure sign that you're stressed and the weight gain is due to cortisol. One thing that can cause high levels of cortisol is too much exercise. Yes, there's such a thing as too much exercise. When you deplete your body and push it too hard, it needs to use cortisol to get through the extra exercise. Your body will then start lowering its metabolic rate to compensate for extra exertion. Your body's smart. If it thinks it's not going to have enough fuel for the amount of exertion you're doing, it'll slow down and burn its burn rate and start using this fat storing hormone from the adrenals to push through the extra exercise. I love it. Annie says, how do we get the stress under control? Okay, I'm going to give you some tips in a minute. Think about our ancestors. They would run after an animal, kill it, and go back and relax. They were not running 8 miles a day, let alone running marathons or doing high-intensity training for 2 hours. They were sprinting and resting, sprinting and resting. I am the first person to be a proponent of exercise. I've been guilty of over-exercising in my past, and I can tell you I never got any results that were better than what I do now, keeping my workouts to less than an hour, incorporating walking, weightlifting, yoga, and really listening to my body if it's too tired to do anything. Some days I just walk my dog. Other factors that can cause high levels of cortisol are your mental and physical stress, whether it's work, family life, constantly worried about things, watching negative TV, the blue light from your cell phone. I don't know if you've noticed, you just walking and looking at your phone and social media, and your heart rate starts going up and you feel stressed. I feel a buzz in my body happen when I do that. Watching TV late at night right before bed, being around negative people, that is a huge one. The number one predictor of who you are as a person are the 5 people you are around the most. So make sure you are eliminating those toxic people out of your life. Having a traumatic injury, stimulants, coffee or too much drug. I drink a cup of coffee a day, but if you drink too much or stimulating drugs, that is going to cause an increase in your cortisol. And of course, eating too many sugar and carb foods. So how can you combat the stress and the cortisol? Number 1, write down your stressors. I recommend if you find yourself stressed out, write down all of the possible reasons you could be stressed. Identify them and try to work on them one by one. When you write things down like this, you'll feel a bit more in control of what's going on and able to tackle them and feel more at ease and less stressed. When I feel like my brain is a bit scrambled and I'm stressed out, I take my pad of paper and I list out what I need to do, when I'm going to do it, and I feel better already. Number 2, getting quality sleep. And this is something we were just talking about with the benefit of CBD. Most people use CBD for stress or sleep. And that's what I've been using it for, and it's been amazing. So this is imperative. Most people have issues with sleep, and blue light is a big trigger, which I mentioned before. And it's coming from your cell phone, the TV, and all the artificial light you're exposed to throughout the day and the night. This is something I'm guilty of, so try to limit this as much as possible. Do not have your cell phone next to your bed when you go to sleep. Also, try not to eat 2 hours before bedtime, limiting your caffeine intake to before 12 o'clock in the day as well. That might be something that is affecting you and you don't think it is. When you have that lull at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you need a caffeine pickup. That's going to stay in your body and disrupt your sleep. Now, let's take a step back. That 2 or 3 p.m. lull is probably your blood sugar dropping from your lunch if you had too much sugar or carbs. And you're craving those carbs because your blood sugar was low right before lunch. You have that meal with the carbs and the sandwich and the cookie, and by 2 or 3 in the afternoon, your body's saying, okay, my blood sugar's down again. I need another pickup. So when you get rid of the carbs and the sugar and you do a low carb, higher fat, moderate protein meal, you're going to feel better. Your blood sugar's stable and you're not going to need that caffeine pickup. And then your sleep is not going to be as disrupted during the night. You can also try supplements like Sleep Ease, Accelerated Gold, which is made just like the Accelerated Silver, or Calm Spirit. These supplements are ones that my clients use to help calm their mind, anxiety, and help you sleep. I also recommend trying the CBD, which we will have available very soon. And then also getting sun and vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually not a vitamin. It's a hormone. It combats depression, stress, and helps improve the levels of cortisol and serotonin. If you're not getting 2 hours of sunlight a day, supplement with vitamin D and K2. It needs to have the K2 in it as well. You want to exercise. Yes, exercise, but not too much. Just like I said before, you don't want to over-exercise, but you do need to move every day. It truly helps with the stress level and your sleep, and it's like a vicious cycle. If you're not exercising and you're not sleeping, you're not going to have energy to exercise, and it just goes on and on. So the best type of exercise for stress and cortisol is just walking. Being outside in nature, getting your vitamin D, and moving the body in a non-stressful way is nature's best medicine. And if you feel up to it, I encourage you to try the HIIT training, which is HIIT, high intensity interval training, twice a week. And yoga is amazing for the mind and body connection. Really check in with yourself and to see where your energy is and where your stressors are. And have fun, laughing, having fun, listening to music. All of these things reduce cortisol. They're good for the body and the soul. And, I have my 3 kids and I can kind of get wrapped up in my stress and start yelling at them. And then sometimes they'll start laughing and do something funny. And I break down and start laughing. And I think to myself, God, I really need more of that in my life. And take that time, do it, laugh, let go of the stress, block out that time and have fun, and it will relieve it and reset you. And it will also reset your cortisol levels. Vitamin B, niacin is one of the vitamin Bs, and it turns into tryptophan. And all of the vitamin Bs are essential for energy. Without them, your body turns to its reserves and its adrenals and burns out cortisol. So it's really important. And when you're stressed, you're going to be using more. So the most natural place to get vitamin Bs are animal proteins. So if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you really need to supplement with nutritional yeast or a supplement called like Oxalate, which I carry, and that covers your amino acids and your vitamins as well. But nutritional yeast is a great place to get it, but also steak and lamb and all of the animal protein. And of course, I would promote organic if you can. And intermittent fasting. This is something I incorporate every single day. It stabilizes your blood sugar, which stabilizes your insulin, and insulin has a big effect on your cortisol levels. So if you have IBS or digestive issues, it inhibits serotonin, which is your happy hormone. Intermittent fasting will help heal the gut and correct your digestive issues. It helps improve serotonin production. It will also stabilize the blood sugar and insulin, like I said, and in turn, it will help level out your cortisol production. So what does that look like? It looks like squeezing your eating window within 2 to 8 hours a day. So waiting till maybe 11 to eat and having your last meal at 7. That's what intermittent fasting looks like. You can also add in the exogenous ketones, which is a keto supplement, and it puts your body into ketosis within 30 minutes. Now, what does that mean? That means that your body is working off of fat for fuel and the fat on your body. So not only are you burning the fat off of your body, but you have an endless supply of energy while your blood sugar is staying even. Your appetite goes down. You have amazing energy. When I work during the day, I intermittent fast and I use an exogenous ketone supplement to keep my energy up and give me great brain energy. It also increases GABA to calm your brain down and reduces your stress. I explain it like feeling like my problems are 20 feet away from me instead of right in front of my face. That overwhelming feeling of stress disappears. So I support the supplement, the exogenous ketone supplement, with the low-carb, high-fat ketogenic diet, which feeds my brain those healthy fats that calm down my brain and relax my body, heal my gut, so my hormones start producing what they need to, which include dopamine, serotonin, and GABA. Those are all the happy hormones. They calm you down. They combat the cortisol. As I'm doing this, I'm also reducing the insulin, which is then reducing the cortisol production. And if you try to do this without the keto supplement in the beginning, you actually might feel a little more stressed because you're switching fuel systems from a high carb and sugar diet to a high fat diet. It's kind of like asking a car to switch from gasoline to diesel. So there is an adjustment period where it's called the keto adaptive phase. So your body needs to learn how to burn that fat for fuel. And if you need help going through this adjustment period, just contact me. I'm happy to help you do it and walk you through it. The keto supplement makes that transition much easier. If you do it without the supplement, expect to have low energy for about 2 weeks. If you do it with the supplement, within 30 minutes, you're in a ketogenic state. The appetite goes down, the GABA and the serotonin start increasing, and you feel great and you're on your way. So as you're switching to a ketogenic diet and cutting the sugar and the carbs, you want to heal the gut with supplements like Restore, which goes in and mends the tight junctions in the gut and allows the gut to then start producing the proper happy hormones like serotonin, GABA, and dopamine. Sorry, Mike, bad example. Cars can't go from gas to diesel. I get it. And that's kind of what you're asking your body to do. So you're putting the wrong gasoline in the body and it's trying to switch over. So thank you for the correction. As your body is doing this and switching over, your cortisol levels will drop. So those are my tips for lowering cortisol, one of the 3 main fat hormones and the main stress hormones. And with the healing of the leaky gut, that is the main source of all autoimmune diseases, not just high level, not just helping with your hormones and high cortisol levels. But it's anti-inflammatory. It helps with the inflammation throughout the body. And what you're doing through leaky gut, and I've got a keto detox bundle that goes through all of the stages of healing your body, boosting your immune system, and relieving the stress, because it's allowing the body to heal itself. As we cannot make any medical claims, which I'm not, these supplements are essentially putting your immune system back to where it needs to be, to heal itself and to strengthen itself. And like I mentioned, I'm going through a bit of a stressful time in some other issues, and I felt my immune system shut down, and I'm feeling weaker than normal. And it's amazing, with all of eating the right things, doing all the right things that we just talked about, stress really knocks down your immune system. And I've not been sick in 15 years. But I can feel my body right now fighting off something. So my immune system's a little lower than what it normally is. And because of that, some of the bugs that I'm exposed to are getting in and having a fighting chance. But I'm incorporating all the things that I just listed. I'm meditating. I'm doing my yoga. I'm making sure I have time for myself. I'm making sure I'm eating right and sleeping. And it's definitely getting my body's immune system strong again. And I love this question, Anne. Anne just asked, is it ever too late to reverse the damage we have caused in our bodies? No, never too late. You could be 90 years old and obese with insulin resistance and all of the metabolic diseases that come with it, arthritis, brain fog. Say hi to my dog. There she is. But it's never too late. The body really wants to heal itself. So with the Keto Detox Bundle, it was designed to reset the body. And you take the accelerated silver, which has been known to kill all foreign pathogens, viruses and bacteria, and really get in and boost the immune system. And then you've got the Restore that goes in and heals the tight junctions in your leaky gut, in your intestinal area, where then your body's able to produce the right hormones, and not just the happy hormones, but we've got hundreds of hormones in our body that people haven't even heard of, and those things get reestablished just by reducing the inflammation throughout the body. It helps heal the body and allow the body to heal itself. It reduces brain fog. When you're in a ketogenic diet and you cut the carbs, you cut the sugar, and you increase the healthy fats like avocado and wild fish and healthy proteins and lots of green vegetables, your brain says, oh my gosh, I'm awake. The inflammation is reduced in the brain, and I can think clear. I can think clearer now than in my days in college at Stanford. If only I knew then what I know now, I would have done much better and had to study a lot less. So when you are doing all of these things, and in that bundle too, you also have a probiotic that helps give you rebuild up that microbiome. And you have the detox powder that soaks up all the toxins that we are being bombarded with, whether it's airplanes overhead or the neighbor spraying the Roundup, or the toxins in our food, the pesticides in our food. The detox powder soaks those toxins up and helps eliminate it. And then the accelerated iodine is super important because our bodies are needing iodine, and it's not in our foods anymore. Super important. It will reduce your risk of cancer. It's supplying the body with the iodine needed and kicking out the fluoride, the bromide, and the chlorine that are in those receptor sites instead of the iodine. And we're talking about CBD receptor sites in your body. When they're not filled by what it's meant to be in those receptor sites, some other toxin is going to fill it. So that goes with the iodine. You need iodine. It is super important. So the dog is saying, yes, Sally, my dog is saying it's time for me to take her for a walk. You're right. So anyways, how do you get time for yourselves, Marie? Marie, you have to make it. I find that I get up an hour earlier than I normally would get up, and I make that time. And when I don't do that, it gets away from me. If you don't do it in the morning, I don't know, your day might get away from you, your kids might get in the way, your work might get in the way, your husband or your wife. So it's really important to carve that time out, put it on the calendar, and make it so that it is your time, whatever it is. So those are my tips for getting rid of that stress, that cortisol. And if this is something you want to talk more about, let me know. Please contact me through the website or through my email, sarah@acceleratedhealthproducts.com. And thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions about Alex and the CBD, I'd love to help. I'm super excited about carrying the products. And if I can help you with any of your health issues, contact me directly through the website or through my email, and I'm happy to put together a protocol for you. I know sometimes it's overwhelming. It's hard to know where to start. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Our Accelerated Health Products, and my YouTube channel is under Accelerated Health Radio. Don't miss next week's show where we will talk about the benefits of ionic foot baths. And please send me your questions and topics that you'd love to hear. You can find the supplements and many informational videos on my website, acceleratedhealthproducts.com, and use coupon W4HC20 for 20% off site-wide, including all of the supplements I mentioned today. Thanks again for joining us here on Accelerated Health Radio, and we will see you again next week.
Are you wanting to optimize your physical, mental, and emotional health? Visit www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Accelerated Health Products to detox, reset, and rebuild your immune system naturally, and to accelerate your body, mind, and spirit with cutting-edge supplements and solutions. Get Sarah Banta's personal advice on a protocol just right for you. That's www.acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Thank you for joining us today on W4HC Radio for Accelerated Health Radio with Sarah Banta. Make sure to tune in every week at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to uncover your highest potential through natural and innovative wellness modalities.